What's up, Trashers? And today I wanted to stroll through memory lane real quick, which is the beginning of this channel. So if you didn't know, when I first started this channel out, I just got a new laptop that is not particularly good, which is why you see most games are like low effort or like minimal like settings at the very least. But COVID also came around at the same time. But I remember I started making Ultimate Custom Night videos, and I think Ultimate Custom Night was new-ish at the time, I believe. Ultimate Custom Night came out around, was it 2018? Which is whenever... Well, no, I think it did come out in 2018. So I started making videos around 2019. Oh, and seeing that on this channel, so I have a confession. This channel is not the original channel. The original channel actually used to be my personal account. It was the same name, I believe. It was just I didn't want my actual channel on my personal, and I basically switched it over. So that's why the upload dates are stupid, because it's like it shows me like uploading 4 at a time on each day, which is not even the case. It was those aren't the real videos, but I'm pretty sure like the portal, or that's not up anymore. Oh yeah, if you look on my channel now, I privated a bunch of videos because you can only imagine what I'm going to be doing with those. But yeah, Ultimate Custom Night was my first video, and I had no recollection of, or I had no past experience at all at making videos. So I just jumped in, and I will tell you, I didn't know anything about editing. I didn't know anything about games. Well, I did know about games. I loved watching games, but I was never too good at them myself. So that's why I'm kind of horrible when it comes to games, and I find my own humor when doing it. But Ultimate Custom Night was my first. I remember, I'm still into FNAF. I mean, you don't see that on this channel very much, except for the videos I have, and most of those videos I didn't even speak. But I actually really liked FNAF. Like, I still like it, but I think it's kind of absurd nowadays, so I don't follow up too much. But yeah, that's why I started making a bunch of lore videos over the characters. Like, you know, every voice line, or I think I did do every voice line ever as a video. Let me look at this real quick. I only had one office. Okay. The challenges! I did the challenges except for one of them. I remember Bears Attack 3 was pretty horrible, simply due because... Actually, what was it? I think it was Lefty. I was always freaked out by Lefty. Was it Ladies Night that I hated? I forget, what's the most annoying character on here? Oh, you know what it was? Where is it? Ladies Night. Ladies Night did suck because it had Chica. And Chica was one of the ones where you had to change the music box. You had to change the music for the music box. And that was specifically hard for me because my audio never worked correctly. I can never hear things right. So I couldn't really tell what the music, and it really sucked. So that's why whenever I would get the death coin, I would, I think, use it on Chica. You never got to see that because I always cut stuff like that out. I always showed the night I did good in. But yeah, I remember that one was especially annoying. The only challenge I did not do was Chaos 3, and I think you can tell why I didn't do Chaos 3. I mean, just look at this. This is insane. I did do Chaos 2, which is just the same amount of people. Excuse me? How was I ever able to do this? I had so much free time on my hands. Dude. I think it's a little bit more. Oh, Night Marionette. Oh, gosh, that one sucks. Oh, my what I keep on my shoulder every time, what I like to say to everyone whenever I talk to them. Oh, hi, my name is Trash, and 4 years ago, I got almost 30 seconds on 50/20 mode. Praise me. I'm sorry. That's not even something to brag about. It's just that the fact that I was able to get above Scott Cawthon and Markiplier, I think. Oh, but I remember when I first did these videos, I was so scared of what would happen. Like, I remember I was so full of it too. I'm like, I'm a YouTuber now, Mom. Nothing can stand in my way. And I'm still, you know what? I'm still not big. I'm really not. It's just I now have a little bit more of an audience with like a little bit more views from back then, because I remember these videos would get like 2 views whenever I initially posted them. I think now they're worse, but now I privated them all, so no one can ever see them. I think there's a few I left up that always blew up for some reason, like the secret voice lines for the mediocre melodies. That was my first video that ever did well, and I don't know why it did. It's not a video to be proud of. It's just another video with another lame thumbnail I made in Canva. Oh, which reminds me. So, remember how I said I didn't know anything about editing? That's right. I didn't have an editing software. Instead, if you saw my videos back then, they were edited off of the Windows program of just looking through a video file. It's called Clipchamp now, but back then, I think it was just called Gallery, or it was part of the gallery, the photo gallery, where you can edit a little bit, add text, add somewhat of a transition, add a little bit more music, but you couldn't do anything with it, ever. Like, if you look back through my videos now, a lot of them are still like that, where they're just cut up a little bit, and like, they have video, I took video files from other things I thought were funny, and then put them in the video themselves. That's how I started it out, and it was dumb, and it was honestly the best thing I can do at that time, but it was still how I made it. I mean, sure, maybe now and then you'll see it, like you'll see me put in like a video, but you know, it'll be much more cleaner how it's edited into the video than actually just cutting away to the clip and then coming straight back on like an awkward moment and then continuing with the game. Or so I think. Anyway, that's what I think. But it wasn't till I can't remember which one it was, but it was Day Shift at Freddy's 2, and I got Adobe Premiere Pro. I was so happy. I actually had Adobe Premiere Pro a little bit before then, but the thing is it scared me, and I didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. So I still used Clipchamp for that little time until I'm like, all right, I need to learn how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. I absolutely need to know how to video edit, and I'm going to teach myself. By the way, for anyone who's trying to learn Adobe Premiere Pro, you know what? I'm just going to call it Premiere Pro. It's much better to say. But anyone who's trying to learn Premiere Pro, you don't have to enroll in a class to learn Premiere Pro. For Premiere Pro, all you need is honestly just to start the program and then level up your skill. You can look at Day Shift, I think it's part 2, I think at Day Shift at Freddy's 2, I learned that you could zoom in. You can up the scale to zoom in on Mangle, or what was the Mangle, which is now the robot that you fixed. And I was so happy because I'm like, I made an edit that actually seemed worth it. I think on Clipchamp I did that too, but you know, you can't do it. You can't like slowly zoom into their face either. And like, the thing is that's not even a huge edit. that's just me. That's just my editing. And then I began to learn more and more and more about editing. Like, I learned you can actually make the audio sound great. Like, well, I don't have a good microphone right now, but I actually will be soon, so expect that. But, like, I used my earbuds. Like, I thought my earbuds were just fine, and then it's like, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something better, and where I'm like recording off my phone, and it's like, I'm doing that right now, actually, by the way, and it's like, you can manipulate the audio of the game so much better because your voice isn't intermingled with the game. That was before I learned that you can start another track on OBS, but it comes out you can manipulate the video even better. You can cut the audio, you can put in your own voice and make it sound great. But and then I started learning how to do voice manipulation, and then how to make better transitions, and then how to input things into the videos better, where you'll see the sprites of us that Nye made. And then I had to personally edit myself through Photoshop or whatever editing service I had to do it, which is why when you watch Doki Doki, you'll see whenever I started using sprites, and they were horrible or they weren't horrible. They were out of quality because they were not exported to the right quality. And I zoomed them in, and they look blurry as hell, and it's like they don't fit in with the video at all. But now, like, you'll see like newer sprites that I use that are like much better, and I learned how to use sprites in sufficient ways, and I think that's the best thing that came out of it. It's like with Premiere Pro, because it has a search bar, like all you need is Google and Premiere Pro. Because you can look up what type of edit you want to make. I remember I made my VHS edit on Doki Doki, and I love that edit to this day. I love the VHS effect that I did. But at the time when I started recording this, it is really cringy to see it, because it's like, I don't even have my own voice in the video. The first voice I ever had in a video was the last video for Five Nights at Freddy's, or it was the last night. It was night 5, and it wasn't even proper. It was, I would dub it. I didn't do anything funny. I just played the game to play the game. And if that's, by the way, that's why I have a hard time playing Five Nights at Freddy's, because I don't play the game to play the game. I play the game to win, because I don't want to be jump scared, first of all. And I don't want to waste my time on something like that. But I will play Five Nights at Freddy's eventually. It's just that I have to make sure that I'm in the right mind to do so. The content creator kind. Like, you know, making like conversation with yourself. Which is, by the way, a lot of videos have my friends in them. I'm sorry. But it's just easier to make conversation. That stuff surpasses a lot of the time than doing stuff alone. But then again, there's series I like doing alone, like Day Shift. I love doing Day Shift by myself because I don't want to explain everything in Day Shift, because Day Shift is Day Shift. No, but when I first started these videos out, yeah, I was cringy. I didn't do much. The recording was probably bad and choppy at most parts. And to be fair, it still is. It's just I've gotten better at hiding it. Or like how my voice sounds in videos now, like they started out bad, but now they're kind of fine. But that's what just makes it good. You have to start out somewhere. Just like editing, like I said, just teach yourself. That's the best way to do it. You don't need a class to edit. I love editing, but sometimes it takes a lot of time to do. Okay, if I had to say the most underappreciated video I have ever had, it would be the Sonic EXE video. I'm pretty sure anyone can tell just how much time is spent doing that video by themselves. It was only a 10-minute video, mind you, but this was like, it wasn't the first video I ever made a script for, but it was the first video I made a script for that was so sophisticated, that was so itself, like it had to create its own, like I had to create my own voice for Sonic EXE because of that. Like, I was kind of funny. I made a few jokes here and there, but it was more of like a documentary type of thing. It was supposed to be a scary video for a scary month. Video editing is just video manipulation. There's no denying that. It's just it's like, one of my favorite YouTubers, actually, his name is Lythero, and he did the Dragon Ball FighterZ videos. That's where the Dragon Ball FighterZ video came from, by the way. Also, yeah, it did not run that well. But he showed on Twitter this one time his Premiere file, and Jesus Christ, what he has on there is just mind-blowing. It's like, why he's my favorite YouTuber is just because of his editing style and how magnificent it looks, and like how much care he puts into it. But you can tell he puts a month into a video, just about. And it's only him editing. Like, I will say he does have community help, but that he still has to edit his videos, and like probably on like hours and hours long streams, where my position, I have it very easy, seeing how I have structured moments that I have to keep in some games. Like, I've had a 3-hour long recording of Doki Doki I've had to edit, but you know what to keep in. For his part, he had to know, like, he had to learn what to keep in. What were the funny moments, what would the audience enjoy, this and that. It's like, that it's not as simple. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that even though the beginning was not very fun, or actually no, I'll say this, the beginning was fun. The beginning was whenever I had no idea what to do, but it was fun to know that. It was fun to discover what to do. I remember my intro for the longest time came from this site, I think called Animaker, and it had its watermark on it. It was just my logo. It rotated. It's still like that on some videos, but I keep it just for nostalgic reasons. But it's like that on most of my videos that I ever made. It's like it was always there, and I'm glad it's gone now. But it's like, it's those simple things that I remember, like having the inexperience to do and looking back on it and being like, I can do that now. I can do that in 5 seconds. Well, back then, it took me like a day or two, because I didn't know where to go or where to make an intro. Instead of the input username. All in all, what I'm trying to say is that everyone has to begin somewhere, and the best part of beginning somewhere is that you have to learn something new. I love my editing style now. I love starting from the beginning. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed me rambling a bit. I've rambled for a long time, and most of it wasn't even about the beginning of the channel. It was just about how I got to that point of the channel. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that UCN is... I never want to go back to UCN unless I have a challenge to do. Like, I'm not doing 50-20 mode, mind you, but like, look, I have all the challenges still, except for Chaos 3, but kill yourself. I'm not doing that. But everyone has to start from somewhere, and why not start from somewhere that is empty, that is all new experiences for you. And that's all I got to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed me rambling. Trash you later.